Hey, what's going on? You are tuned into the Daily Geek right here on SweetGeekTV. I am your host, Griffin Grandberg, and today is February the 26th, 2009. It's technically the 27th. We're going to kind of merge this for episode 129 of the Daily Geek, which means we're getting close to episode 200. And you know what? I'm super stoked about it because I'm already working on the promotion for it. So how about that? And you know what's crazy is we won't have a Friday edition of the Daily Geek. We haven't had it for the last few weeks. They're coming back, don't worry. But right now, with all the craziness that's happening in Arizona, I'm going to take some much needed R&R time here at the end of Friday, so I won't be able to do a Daily Geek. But you know what? I'll be back on Monday, so how about that? But right now, let's go ahead and move on to what we do best. The geek news, starting with story number 1 from Carol Bartz, a nice blog post. In fact, the first blog post that she did on the official Yahoo blog. And you know what? I like Carol Bartz. I like that she has some balls. I like that, you know, only after 6 weeks, she's already talking about restructuring the management structure there at Yahoo. Because you know what? Yahooers, they did not, or Yahoos, I guess, is the technical term there for an employee, did not like the old management structure. People didn't know where they were going to report to. Well, this one, she's saying, is going to make them more agile, make them able to make decisions and move quicker. I like that a lot. She's also going to be focusing more on customers, and, you know, just making some awesome services. In fact, one of the quotes that she's quoted as saying is that our company's brand is going to kick ass again. And you know what? I'm ready for Yahoo to make a comeback. Good luck, Carol Bartz. I am rooting for you. Story number 2, which is we do not know much about the Palm Pre. We know it's going to be on Sprint. We know it's coming out in a few months. Some of the big players actually know a lot more about it, and the fact that they have the software development kit. And now I'm talking about, you know, your Facebooks, your MySpaces, your Pandora, the people that are going to make applications, you know, the first big ones for this phone. So they have the software development kit. They've had it for a while, but wait, what about all these little guys that want to make, you know, applications? These smaller developers, you know what? They release some information that you have to check out. Just go do it. If you're a developer, this is something that I think you need to be a part of. Go check it out in the interesting links section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv, for the first installment of probably going to be a pretty long online book on how to develop for the Palm Pre and the webOS. Let's move on to story number 3. Do you happen to dig? Of course, I'm talking about digg.com. I certainly do, or have in the past. Not so much actually anymore, but the thing is tons of people dig, and there are lots of rumors earlier about a Digg toolbar. It looks like they're actually beta testing that now. It's not going to be a software add-on to your browser. Instead, it's going to run right there in your browser, no matter what browser, as long as it can run, you know, some hardcore JavaScript. That's probably going to be running. Here's the deal, is this is not only going to allow you to dig and bury a story, right? Because, I mean, that was just pretty much a given. But here's the big thing, is it's actually going to be kind of going after Stumbleupon with the random button. You're going to be able to hit this button and it's going to go to whatever site that it thinks that you'd be interested in, which is totally what Stumbleupon does, which is kind of interesting to see that gameplay. And then the other thing is that it's going to be shortening the URLs so you can, you know, post it in the Twitter, post it in the Facebook, that type of deal. Because Digg's, like, usual URLs are so super long. I tell you what, it's just crazy. Now they're going to go down to this smaller, shortened digg.com / you know, a little code or whatever. So that's kind of cool. Once it's released, I'm going to let you know about it right here on the Daily Geek. Let's move on to story number 4, which is kind of an interesting fact about, kind of an interesting fact about Perez Hilton, which, you know, we talked about the Daily Fill and how News Corp's getting into the celebrity gossip scene. Well, Perez Hilton was kind of the biggest, or is one of the biggest, for celebrity gossip. And basically, it's kind of funny because he totally hates Facebook, right? Because Facebook basically kicked him off their service. That's not very cool, right? Well, he hates them, but here's the funny thing, is that he gets more traffic from Facebook.com than he gets from Google.com. That's pretty crazy to hear about that. Of course, most people entering his site by actually typing in PerezHilton.com. Just kind of cool fact for you. Story number 5, the last story of the day, which, you know, we covered in, you know, the arcade games for auction by Michael Jackson, which is kind of a whole different type of geeky. This is also a different type of geeky, and a geeky that's been around for a long time, before computers. The comic book geek is getting some love, at least the comic book geeks that have a little dough. The rarest of rare comic book going on auction today, and it's going to end March 13th. It's for the #1, the first comic is, which of course is called Action Comic #1. I just had to make sure, okay? It's huge and big, and it's going on auction. What's funny is that it's like valued at $126,000, and like back in the day when it was bought for 35 cents. Just kind of an interesting fact. If you want in on this, for one, you need to tell me if you're gonna pick this up, okay? I think that would be totally cool. But if you want to go check it out, comicconnect.com. Go check it out. And there you go. There you have it. That is the geek news for, let's see here, February the 27th technically, but it's kind of a mixture of the 26th, 27th, 2009, episode 129 of the Daily Geek on SweetGeekTV. I'm your host, Griffin Granberg. Before we go, the question of the day, what toolbars do you use? Do you use Google? Do you use Yahoo? MSN? Blah, blah, blah. There's like 50 billion of them. I want to hear what toolbars that you use. Leave a comment no matter where it's at. I will comment back to every comment left all throughout the weekend, so I'm totally excited to see which ones you use, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I am certainly going to try to do the same, and I will catch you right back here for a Monday edition of the Daily Geek on Monday, and you know what? I'll see you then.